My name is Kevin Okwara, resident of Eldoret, and welcome to What Does It Take? This is a weekly podcast where we bring business people, especially manufacturers, men and women who have ventured out there to do something. Many times when you walk across Africa, and many times in Kenya, and many times again in the village, you find things that are going on that sometimes they baffle you. And we see products in the market, supermarkets, in the hardwares. And the question is, what does it take to make those products? And so when I walk around and I find an entrepreneur who has adventured outside, I get so impressed. Today I have a lady. I moved into her enterprise and it was wonderful. I asked herself, what does it take to do what you're doing? Nancy, karibu sana. Tell us who is Nancy.
Nancy.
Introduce yourself and let's get to know who is Nancy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okwara. My name is Nancy Matelong, an entrepreneur in Eldoret, manufacturing sector. And I can't say it is only tea that you're doing, but we'll be doing a food chain sector in manufacturing.
Yeah, I'm told that Nancy is a medic. The grapevines. People say that you're actually not, you didn't study tea, or you didn't study agronomy, or something to do with the industry. You actually did medicine.
Yeah.
Nancy, medicine, now packing tea. This mathematics doesn't make sense. Tell us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okwara. I can clarify on that. I did pharmacy, a farm tech. I was employed in MTRH for a year.
Oh.
Yeah. And when I was there, I think I had passion in business. I wanted to make something that it is mine. I wanted to have that freedom in this world that we are in. So after being in MTRH for a year, I just realized that I love business so much. So I just quit my job and just started my business.
And so you began tea called Samoo Tea.
Yeah.
This is what Nancy makes. She actually packages Samoo Tea. And the other day in the supermarket when I walked around and I picked this product, I was mesmerized by the name Samoo. What's all this about Samoo Tea, Nancy?
Samoo Tea, it's not just Samoo. That name comes from my village name. It's called Kipsamo. But now because I wanted to do something that it is everyone can buy, not locally, international, I just pick it Samoo, just for a brand. Yeah.
So what does Samoo mean? I had somebody saying something that was interesting. Samoo
in my village, it's like a cow which it has a lot of colors, a very beautiful thing. Yani, it's just a beautiful, beautiful cow. That's what Samoo means.
Samoo means. But
yeah.
I remember I came to your shop and you kept on telling me Samoo Tea. Samoo Tea. Samoo Tea, please. Something like that. Is that what it means? That's what you finally changed it to be?
Yeah. Now, when you say Samoo Tea is Samoo Tea. You can say, I want Samoo Tea, please.
I need Samoo Tea, please.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Because when you take Samoo, you'll not get enough of it each and every time.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Tell us about your journey in business. Very many young people will be listening to this podcast and they'll be asking, we want to know, Nancy Medic, she's now doing tea. Just give us a bit of your journey into finally beginning to make this business. What was your vision?
Now in business sector, I started by selling in the hotels and individuals before I started my branding. I used to sell other people, other factories' teas before I started Samoo.
So you began like you're buying tea from people, and then you're hawking.
And then hawking in town.
You're hawking in town.
Yes.
My question is
hotels and the individuals.
My question is, after you left Moi Referral Hospital, you're a medic. You went hawking.
Yes. And that's what I wanted. I wanted freedom.
Freedom. Tell me about this passion and freedom. That means you are a medic, but it just didn't, it was not in you.
No, I think doing medic, it is not all about what I wanted, but from my parents. In fact, before I left for business, my father was so mad about it.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't even talk over 6 months because I left the job and then went hustling.
Nancy has talked about something that is very pertinent, passion. Living your passion. Nancy is a medic. She went to study medicine, but deep down Nancy's heart, she's always wanted to do or to live her passion. And her passion has always been to be an entrepreneur. And here is Nancy today in Eldoret, selling tea. She began by hawking tea, and she was hawking tea for different people. Now she's selling her tea called Samoo Tea. Tell us, Nancy.
Yeah.
Investment. Hii kazi nataka pesa mingi sana. You must have spent money to start your tea business. What was your first investment?
My first investment, it was packaging materials. You start from packaging materials. You start sourcing the packaging materials.
You start sourcing the packaging materials.
Yeah. And before that, in fact, before you do all this, I don't know if I can take you back from starting the real business, now packaging the tea.
I need to know your investment. How did you, how much money did you put into this? I really need to know your investment. What exactly did you need? What does it take to pack this thing?
Now, what it takes to pack tea, it's all about licensing.
Licensing.
Sourcing teas, marketing, machineries. The production team and all that.
Licensing. Marketing. Materials.
Yeah. And sourcing tea. Yeah.
And during your time when you're hawking around, you finally were able to know where to source tea?
Yes.
When you're hawking around, you knew where to buy your packaging material. You also knew where to get your license. And, you're a young girl. How old are you? Okay, the ladies don't like saying their age. Let's not get there, because then she's 36 years. Yeah, for how long have you done this business?
5 years.
5 years. What kind of investment and where did you get the money to start?
Now getting the money, I get the money from the first business, selling other factories teas. That's where I get my capital for my business.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something that Nancy has said, which for me is very important and very pertinent. Nancy began small. Imagine a medic moving around town hawking. Hawking, it doesn't look very palatable. It doesn't look very trendy. But she hawked and saved money to start her own business, pay for her license, buy her packaging material, buy her fast tea. I think that is something that our young people need to hear, because sometimes our young people feel like they want to start there. But, your story is very interesting because you started by hawking tea. And just let me know, your family, did they support you?
They weren't supportive at all. Like my parents, they weren't supportive. Only my sister, my small sister, she really supported me because she knew what I was doing. Yeah.
So your parents didn't support you. What about your other siblings?
In fact, they were saying what you're doing, it's not right. But I had only one sister who was supporting me very much.
So now you're here. Let me ask you, how is business? When we go out there, people keep on asking, biashara imekaa namna gani? How is business? Let me ask you, how is business?
Business is good.
And if you compare yourself, where you are now and where you are during your time as a medic, what do you feel?
I feel so good. Wherever I'm here right now, I feel so good. Yeah.
That means you're making money.
I'm making money.
You're making money?
Sure. I'm making money, yeah.
This is what Kenyans want to hear, because we are living in a time where some people think it's difficult to make money. This is a young girl, and she's been in this business for 5 years.
Yeah, sure.
For 5 years, started with money for hawking, and in this economy, a young person telling you he's making money, I think that's a person you need to become a friend to. Tell me, Nancy, you may be saying you're making money. What are the challenges that you have faced? I guess it's not just been rosy. It's not just been, sometimes they say grass looks greener on the other side. So when you jump the other side, you realize,
it is dry.
It's not. So what are the challenges that you faced, running this business?
Now, the main challenge that I faced is...
Especially when you started. Let's first look at when you started. When you started, what are the challenges you faced when you're starting this business?
Getting into market.
Getting into?
Market.
Into the market?
Yes.
Breaking into the market.
Breaking into the market.
Competitors.
That is the only thing that can push away from teas, because teas is something very sensitive. When it comes to Kenyan people, it is very sensitive. Like when you enter to a shop, you tell someone I'm selling tea, they will tell you no. The only tea that we know is Ketepa. The only tea that we know is Assis and all that. But if you keep on pushing, so long as you know what you're selling, so long as you know your product, so long as you know where you are heading.
That again is that's a very important point, because our young people, and especially some of us who retire and want to get into business, you're bumped with cartels. I also know that in tea, we most likely could be having cartels. The moment you get in there, you find that the guys already have,
they have built,
Balkan, they have, barricaded that business. You really can't move.
Yes.
And so breaking through becomes a real problem. Did you ever get to a point where you wanted to give up? Just felt, no, I want to give up. I want to go home. Kitu staki.
Yeah, it reached a point I wanted to give up, but whatever it was inside my heart, whatever I wanted to do, I didn't give up. I just pushed it to where I am right now.
We are listening to a story of a young entrepreneur, Nancy Matelong. And the reason why she's here is to encourage us, because, a couple of things we've learned today. Resilience. She started small to make capital to get to where she is. She has had a very resilient heart, very persevering heart. She's a worker. She never, she went to school to do medicine, did not like to do medicine. She finally got to her passion, what she loves. And in this economy, at a time like this, somebody telling you, I am happy with what I'm doing, please look for that person. And therefore, tafuta Nancy. Because Nancy will tell you what does it take to do what? To make tea. Thank you. Let's wait for part 2. We are coming to a close. We'll come back, and when we come back, we will get a little bit more deeper. Welcome again to our second part of what does it take? We are looking at what does it take to pack tea. And with me is a very young entrepreneur. 30 is still young. You have many years to live, She packages tea, gets tea, she sources tea, does the packaging. She's branded it to a name called Samoo Tea, and it is selling across the entire of Western Kenya. Apparently, I had a gentleman from South Africa who actually took her tea to South Africa. So your tea is already crossing borders to South Africa. And I was also told it was in Uganda. I was shocked to find it in Uganda the other day I visited. Yeah, so Samoo Tea is going places. Let's get back to business. Tell us about your growth. You've been in business for the last 5 years. How do you find, give us about the curve. Talk to us about the curve. Has it been steep growth, or you have, how have you grown? And you can see that in terms of money, in terms of what you bank in the bank. And just for a layman, ulipoanza ulikuwa na bank pesa ngapi?
Thank you so much for that. When I was starting the business, I just didn't start like Samoo, starting packaging. I started from comfort of my kitchen.
Wow. And the comfort of the kitchen.
Yeah, of my kitchen. That's why I started my business. But now we have a shop, we have a factory, not even a shop. We have a factory. We have the machines. We have workers who work with us, like 8 of them. Yeah, so the growth, I think we are growing.
So like when you first did your first business, how much did you get back home with?
Like I started with the supermarket for this tea.
Yes.
And the first money that I go home with at that time, I started with Transmatters supermarket.
Wow.
Yes. Can I thank them for that?
Yeah, you can go ahead and thank.
Thank you so much, Transmatters supermarket, for supporting me, for supporting Samoo since we started. And thank you, Mr. Kishore, so much. Now, I think when we started, he supported me so much. He used to pay cash because he knew that I'm starting a business. So I think the first check, it was around, if I can remember, it was around 23 or 24,000.
That I think must have been one of your most proudest moments.
Yeah.
Now, Nancy has brought up a very important aspect, which I think I want us to just, look into. Many times you have young people who struggle to get into the market. And she's taken time to thank a gentleman who actually supported her by buying her tea and believing in Nancy. And I want to encourage a number of us who are out there, because there are very many of us who don't believe in, small brands like, her brand was very small. It's now growing big. If somebody never believed in Nancy, maybe Nancy would never been, what she is today. So thank you so much to that supermarket for what they did for what they did for Nancy. What advice would you give to our young people who want to jump into the tea value chain?
Yeah, for the young people who are there, packaging tea is not that hard. In fact, getting license for tea is just something that you just get in and you're good to go. And then like tea, it's something that it is not perishable at any given time. It takes like 3 years to
get tea to get stale.
Yeah, to get stale. And getting this tea, you just need some 1 to 3 license. The most challenging license is just from KEBS, Kenya Bureau of Standards. That's the most challenging licensing for the tea. But
if you made it, then they can also make it. If you made it by getting a license, they will definitely make it.
They will.
That's nice.
Yeah, they will.
Good. Now, you've talked about machines, you've talked about, starting from your kitchen, and I think this is a very beautiful story. Why is it a nice story? It's a nice story because people think that starting a factory, she now has a factory, they think that starting a factory, they'll start with big machines and big go downs. This is a story of a girl who started in her kitchen. And 5 years, she's now having a factory and a couple of machines, and she is packaging tea, which is in Uganda. I saw it across the borders. It is in the entire of Western Kenya. And the other day, a friend of mine came from South Africa and has carried this tea to South Africa. So I think your tea will now be in
South Africa.
It will be in South Africa. What lessons have you learned in entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship.
What are the lessons you've learned in entrepreneurship?
Okay. Now, like being an entrepreneur, first, you need to have that golden heart. You need to have that heart that you cannot give up.
No giving up.
No giving up in business. In whatever you do, in any business that you want to venture into, don't give up.
I like that. No giving up.
Yeah.
So many of our young people and young entrepreneurs, and even some old entrepreneurs who have retired from job and they have come, wameingia soko, and they realize soko kuna cattails, kuna wanyama hapo,
Yeah.
and then once they try, they give up.
No.
What are you telling them?
Never give up in business.
Never give up.
Never give up. Resilience, discipline, patience.
Resilience. Wow.
Sometimes you feel like in fact, sometimes you wake up, you have to do 1, 2, 3 and all that, and everything is, that's the time you know what resilience means in the business.
You have to be patient, no giving up. You have to be, resilient. Yes. Any other thing you've learned in entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Being an entrepreneur, being a mom, being a sister, it's a tough thing. Like for me, it's a tough thing. So sometimes you need someone to talk to. You need, in business, you need someone to advise you on 1, 2, 3, so that you not give up. And what I've learned in business, you need to have a coach. Above everything, above finances, above all these other things, you need to have a coach.
You need to have a bigger brother, a business person who has gone ahead of you,
yes.
And somebody who can always show you the way, isn't it? So I think what she has said is resilience. We just need to be patient with whatever you're doing. Nancy has talked about no giving up. And she has also talked about having a mentor. Sometimes, and we're living in a world where we really don't have big brothers. We don't have mentors. But thank God, at least she, has a mentor, somebody who can actually show her what to do. Let's get down to something that you've talked just for a very brief moment. We are in a fairly male-dominated market. You're a lady.
You go with your shoulders high. You don't have to fear anything as a lady. If you're doing business or anyone who wants to start a business, sometimes you feel these other sectors, like the tea sector. It is a male-dominated sector. But I'm here and I will push it to the core.
Good. Thank you so much. Let me ask you, Nancy, what does your typical day look like?
It's a very busy day. I start my day at around 5 in the morning. And sometimes I end up closing my day at around 11.
5 in the morning?
Yeah.
5 in the morning, wewe uko wapi? Umelala kwa blanketi. Nancy ameamuka saa 11. 5 in the morning, Nancy has begun her day and she goes to bed at 11. That's the life of an entrepreneur. That's the life of an entrepreneur. You're married?
Yeah, I can say I'm married.
And how's your, how do you balance family and personal life and business?
Sometimes it is very tough. Sometimes it's tough because you want to see your kids when they come back from school. Sometimes you leave without even them getting up. like you can go even for a week without seeing them. It is really tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
But you have to press on.
You have to press on because you're doing something for them.
Wonderful.
Whatever we are doing right now, whatever I'm doing,
yes,
it's a legacy. I want to leave legacy for my children.
Many times before you do something, you always have a mentor, somebody who you most likely have seen somebody do something and you say, I want to be like that person. They may not directly mentor you, but you admired them. Who are some of the people that you admired when you're starting business and they pushed you to this? You said, mimi nataka kuwa kama ule jamaa.
In fact,
and they influenced your journey in this entrepreneurship.
Thank you so much. Like when I was growing up, my dad.
Your dad?
My dad is my first admirer. He's an entrepreneur and he does scrap metal. He was doing at first he was doing ice and skin, and I used to admire him so much because of what he was doing at that time. We didn't lack in our home. We had everything that a home needs at that moment. And then another person who inspired me so much is Kericho Gold. I've never met those people, but whatever they were doing, the teas that they were doing, I really admire them. And after that, there is a person who I was really wanting to meet for a very long time, and it is Mr. Okwara. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm admiring you so much in so many ways. Like you are a coach, you've done a lot by yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for those nice words. What's your biggest dream for Samoo Tea? If the Lord was to allow you to live another 50 years, where do you want to see Samoo Tea?
Yeah, now that is a vision that it is in me, and it is something that it is growing in me. I want a factory, a tea factory, wow, a tea processing factory. Wow. And that is I think it is a vision, maybe 2035. That's a vision. We'll be processing tea as a tea factory. 2035. Yeah. So
Nancy has a vision. 2035. She wants to have a factory that would be processing tea. What's your vision? What do you want to be? What do you want to do in 2035? If you have no journey, you will have no vision. But Nancy already has a journey. She wakes up in the morning at 5 o'clock, sleeps at 11 at night. She's a family lady. She has a husband. She has children. And she's balancing all these things. But still in her mind, 2035, she wants to build a factory. What's your vision? Nancy says that she has a mentor, and not too many dads are mentors. Thank God for your dad. Because look at the moment you become a good father, look at what Nancy is today. And so, Nancy, I have 2 or 3 more questions to ask you before we come to a close. There are very many young people who will be listening to you. Just take 1 minute. What would you tell the many young people? Kenya right now, we are living in a time when our young people are really struggling with, what do I do? There are no jobs. People are on social media. People have gone into politics. People are so disillusioned. The crowd of these young people who are listening to you, what would you tell them?
The only advice that I can give to the young people outside there, start wherever you are. Start with that thing that it is in your mind, it is in your heart, that vision, that passion. Start with it. Wherever you are, whatever you have, start with it. And God will bless you. God will bless your hands. And
wow. Now, if somebody were to buy Samoo Tea, where do they get this Samoo Tea? Samoo Tea, please.
Where do you get Samoo Tea? Give us your address.
Now, Samoo Tea is in Eldoret. Let's say Wazingishu. You can find our teas in Wazingishu, Nandi County, Elgeyo Marakwet, Western region. You can find our teas there. They're in the supermarket, all the outlets. You'll find Samoo Tea.
Thank you so much, Nancy. We really appreciate you in our podcast. Nancy has raised very important, points. Nancy has talked about mentorship. Nancy has talked about learning from a bigger brother. Nancy has talked about being resilient in business. Nancy has faced challenges, but she's never given up. She said to us young people, just do not give up. Nancy is living her passion. And there are many of us who have maybe gone to school and done a course. You thought that maybe when I come out, I'll get a job. But then deep down you realize this course is really not my passion. Nancy is making money by living her passion. And I've always believed that if you ever lived your passion, that work that makes you wake up in the morning to go and do, where you're happy, you're joyful, because it's your passion, that is what will finally make you money. And so what does it take to make Samoo Tea? Nancy has already told us. She began in the kitchen. She's now having a small factory. 2035, Nancy wants to have a factory. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for listening to us. We really appreciate for your time. We hope that the next episode for What Does It Take, we'll have another different entrepreneur who will tell us more about what they do. Thank you so much, and God bless you.